Now it's time for Money Matters. Today we're discussing estate planning.
Matt Dicken is CEO and founder of Strategic Wealth Designers, and he's joining us. Matt, how does somebody get started with their estate planning? It sounds, difficult.
Yeah, it's not real fun to discuss, but it is something that we need to do occasionally in our lives. You know, one of the things I always caution individuals to know is if you haven't prepared your own will, you actually have a will when you're a resident of the state of Kentucky, because if you pass away, the state provides you with a copy of theirs. Now, if you were to read this will, it's nothing that anybody would ever want, because you would think, especially if you're married, if I pass away, everything goes to my spouse. Not necessarily the case here in Kentucky. Your brothers and sisters could actually have priority over some of the funds and the money that you have. So you can solve that issue by just getting a simple will done for yourself.
So you really do need to know about that.
And that would almost supersede the
correct. Then you don't have to worry about the one that the state provides.
Yeah.
What are some other reasons that it's really important to get your estate in order while you're still living?
Well, in addition to getting a will done, we always recommend having power of attorney and drawn up, and you really need to have two different types of powers of attorneys drawn up. You need to have one for finances as well as health care. You know, if you become incapacitated, you don't want your family to have to guess. But then again, the issue with your finances, a lot of times, again, if you're married, individuals automatically think, well, if my spouse is incapacitated, we're married, I can go withdraw those funds. That's not true unless you have a power of attorney that's drawn up specifically for your finances.
And then you said the last thing to remember is that there might be a big financial impact on the survivors, on those who are living.
We deal with this all the time where clients come into inheritance, and a lot of times the parents might think, let's use a general round number of $1 million in an account. If you're going to pass $1 million on to heirs and beneficiaries, they're not actually going to have $1 million that they can then spend and enjoy for themselves, because they're going to have to pay tax on it. So $1 million may only be worth about $600,000 to heirs and beneficiaries. Whereas with proper planning, you can actually pass that money on to the next generation, to where if you have $1 million in the account, heirs and beneficiaries inherit the entire $1 million, and the IRS picks up nothing out of it. But you've got to do proper planning in order to avoid things like that.
Sit down and work, map that out.
Yeah. Very important.
Yep.
And you always bring us great ideas. To learn more ways to make your money matter, you can go to WKYT.com.
And if you have something that you'd like us to discuss, send an email to news@WKYT.com, and we might talk about it here.